Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to this evening connection of the Daily Divine. My name's lisalyle, and I'm here to support our souls to shine. So, as we connect, I'm feeling really excited to connect. There's a lot of notes, and I was guided to bring a really good book here to connect us with the energy of the nine, which today, at the time of this live, January, I was going to say July, and July will be Cancer season. And we're currently a few days away, like 5 days away from our Cancer full moon. Like we're kicking off this universal 9 year with a Cancer full moon. This is really good news for all of us. So, my name's lisalyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. A very warm welcome back to those of you who are coming back and supporting this channel and the connection and doing the inner work. Thank you so much. And a very warm welcome to those of you who are new and just finding this space. I trust that something here will resonate with the beautiful heart that beats within you, and you will feel loved and supported and encouraged to keep going the path that your heart has chosen. So before we get any further, I'm going to light some Palo Santo, as I always do. My sweet senior cat Tristan is sitting on my lap because apparently I'm in his chair. So I'd just like to ask at this time that I am a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind. And if you are just new, you'll have to forgive my voice. I don't normally sound so winded, or the voice isn't usually so raspy. But we'll get into that too, because I do feel that there's a greater purpose to all of it. But we are going to start with this beautiful heart chakra singing bowl. So I would just like to encourage you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, really settle into your body. And excuse Tristan's R's. Tristan, come. Settle into your body and see if you can get your breath all the way down into your belly. And you want to feel that belly rising and falling with the inhalation and exhalation. And just be open to receive whatever may be here for you. So I'm really feeling guided to stop there. And the message that I'm hearing is that this universal nine is welcoming us home. And with this year starting off with the full moon in her home sign of Cancer, and Cancer is all about our safety and security. Our earliest recollections, if you will, or neurological and cellular imprints happen in our childhood, in the family home. And so that feels important here as we connect this evening. And perhaps we'll go back to the singing bowl. I'm just here as long as my voice is going to hold out. Okay, so it's 911 right now. And that's the same energy that the year started out. And it's this mastery. And so it feels like some of the messages that were coming through today, and this is the second weekend I've had in this new Gregorian year. And, there's something about time. Time seems to be, it's moving as it always does, right? And yet there is, it feels like when it is time for us to do the things that we love and to do the things that we're being called to do, there's more than enough time. And I'm just seeing like flashes of light all over the place, like particularly right here to my left. And again, it feels like there's this loving energy surrounding us, really encouraging us to show up for ourselves at this time. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So let's talk about the throat. And when I read that, it said, I woke up to the sound like, I thought I saw fog there. And there's been a lot of talk about fog in the last 10 days or so. And that's actually 2 Saturdays ago. So was it the last Saturday? It must have been the last Saturday in December. This really strange fog rolled in. And I remember commenting to the girls at work, like, what is that? Is that a fire? Like, that's what I asked, if it was a fire, because of the way that fog smoke was moving. It looked like smoke moving. And, by the end of the shift that night, it was very obviously fog. And while we were outside and this like smoke fog was moving through, there were some interesting, I said, is it snowing? Because it wasn't really snow. It was these really big flakes, but not like the fluffy snowflakes that you'd want to stick your tongue out to catch. I don't know if you'd want to do that nowadays, although we're breathing it all in. So it's all relative. And it really feels like, when I say it's all relative, it's about us coming back to and remembering our innate power and the reason that we're here in each and every sacred hour. It's always our power hour. So anyways, since this fog rolled through 10 days or so, yeah, probably 10 days ago, from that time, I started to feel really like congested and really heavy in my chest. And yet, at the same time, there's been a lot of movement, like a lot of movement. Hi, Rena, welcome. Yeah, it is interesting, Dawn. It's very interesting. And I did talk about the nice, awesome. Happy listening. And that sounds like a yummy dinner. So anyways, after this fog, I started noticing this about how I was physically feeling. And those of you who have been connecting with me for a while know that for a decade or more, I've been speaking about like what's going on in our skies. And then when I went on to social media after the fog, there were lots of like TikToks and people on YouTube and talking about this fog and how people were claiming to see ash in the fog or prior to the fog arriving. So it's a very interesting time we're living in today. And today in the sky, you could actually, I don't have my phone here, but with the naked eye, you could actually, before I made my way down to the lake, you could actually see this. It looks beautiful. That's the thing, right? That's the thing about the deceptive energy or this devil energy. It looks beautiful, right? And looks, we've heard and we know, can oftentimes be very deceiving. So there's something about that. I just heard wolf in sheep's clothing. So that's interesting because wolf has come through as the animal guide for at least the first quarter of this Gregorian year until we arrive at the true new year. And when wolf came through, which was back at the end of November, the message that was coming was the mirror energy. So wolf mirrored is flow. It was just 1022 there. 5, change. We're changing. Everything's changing. And a part of this respiratory stuff and what I've personally been experiencing is a lot of loosening and a lot of stuff coming up. And yesterday, a whole bunch of stuff, like the 2 days, not today, yesterday and the day before, Monday and Tuesday of this week, I couldn't believe what was coming out of my nose and my mouth. Honestly, really frigging gross. Right. Right. And winds. We've had a lot of wind here too. I waited until like after 3 today to go down to the lake. So the wind, because it was so windy, I knew it was already freezing. It was like -9 or 10. And I knew that when I got down to the lake, it would feel much colder than that. So I was guided to wait until after 3. And Los Angeles, what's happening there in the Palisades is the same thing that happened in Paradise, California. Where else? Hawaii, and even in the Philippines, I believe something happened there, and something similar happened in, similar. It wasn't fire; it was water in North Carolina and stuff like this, right? So again, it's this devil energy. And what is the mirror of the devil energy? Live, life, lived, right? So we're here to live our life. Yes, I have some activated. Yes, I believe it. I believe it. They are going hard. And, it's funny because we're coming up to, so today's been a day of radical self-care. And yesterday was a day of huge releasing, a lot of stuff coming out. And when I went to bed last night, I felt great. And then today was a heavy day of chemical activity in the sky. And I'm feeling again this stuff coming up. And it's a part of the release. And it's a part of the clearing away and like the wrapping up of the true lunar year. We're in a cycle. We are at a time of nourishing ourselves. And yes, Rena, you're absolutely right. We have to keep our vibration high. And we have to also understand that we're going to be impacted by the bullshit. I mean, how could we not? Our food is, our soil is, everything is, right? And yet, with that awareness, we can bring our high vibe to the table and we can be the one that shifts this. And particularly, and if you're seeing it, it's particularly important that you step into your role as, like, what will I say? Like a guide or a caretaker, and you probably already have. So before I go too far off, I'm going to stick to my notes because, yeah. So the full moon in Cancer. Thank you, Rena. And I'm going to get the activated charcoal out. I don't use that often, but what I was going to say, yes, that's it. Coming back to that. We're coming up to the full moon in Cancer on the 13th. Cancer is all about our safety, our security, our home, feeling safe. As was mentioned a little bit earlier, that happens early in our life. We either feel safe in the homestead or we don't. And this is where we learn our defense mechanisms. And this is where our neural pathways are formed in those early formative years. I do believe, I'm not quite sure, I do believe that it's the full moon. Is it 13 degrees? I don't know. I'm not going to go there, but maybe it's 13 degrees of Cancer. At the same time, today on the 8th, Mars moved into Cancer, and Mars will continue being retrograde through Cancer until February when it goes direct. So it's been retrograde since December. Today it moved into Cancer, and in February it will station and go direct. And beside that, I wrote Mars retro in Cancer. What is safety? Because Mars is a pretty volatile energy, right? And yet, as the divine feminine, we can look at Mars as the masculine, right? Remember that book back in the day? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And, that there's probably some essence of truth to that. Mars, the planet of, like war and this kind of stuff. And Venus, the planet of love. And yet it's about the merging of the masculine and the feminine. And so when I connect with Mars at this time, I connect with the color of Mars, that red energy. And that red energy is really fiery and passionate. And it's also representative of our root chakra. I think somebody likes what I'm saying there. It's also the color of the root chakra. And today was all about nurturing my roots with the understanding of that we are growing and we have been through a lot, so much, and we're still in this period of metamorphosis. So we're being called at this time to create our own safety, and to do that so that our inner child feels confident enough to come out and express themselves and allow their natural talents, gifts, and abilities to flow through us and into the world. Because this is the medicine that we're here to bring. We're here to bring the medicine of the purity of our hearts. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to make a fresh start. I also wrote significant time of introspection. Honor all of your feelings. And it's like an emotional cleansing. And even with the stuff that's coming up, and we have to understand we're sensitive. And like most people are incredibly sensitive, and they run to a doctor when something's wrong with them because they think the doctor knows better than they do, or the doctor is smarter and has more awareness. And if only we all took the time to listen within, we would be given the inner guidance as to what we need. And it's the following the inner guidance that's really important. So one of the messages, the main message of this Cancer full moon that came through was this: you are tethered to your soul via your heart. May 2025 be the year you reestablish this most sacred connection so that you may experience true emotional, physical, and spiritual connection with others. We humans need one another. We are not meant to travel through life alone. This the soul knows. Bring your soul online and get out of your mind. And that takes me back to wolf, the lone wolf energy. So then, as a good student, right before I came live today, I was guided to look up. So one of the messages, something that was coming through, maybe I should just stick. Yeah, I should just stick to it. Sorry. Okay. So on the 11th, which is 3 days from now, the north node of the moon moves into Pisces. And the north node is the destined, like our destiny, the destined node, our path of fulfillment in this lifetime. So that's important. And then, of course, as the north node goes into Pisces, the south node will be moving into Virgo. And this is about the karmic path and our past lives and the gifts that we were born with. So it goes back to honoring that inner child, bringing the safety so that child can bring through the gifts. The south node is also about our comfort zone. And as we know, not much grows. Yeah. Not much grows in our comfort zone, right? We have to step out of the comfort zone to experience expanded growth. So 2025 is the year that we are in the liminal space. We are in the space between death and rebirth. And it feels like the first 3 months of this year is the death part and the spring is the rebirth. And so don't be afraid of the death part, right? We have to go through it. So then after that came through today, I was guided to take note of the date, which is the 8th of January of 2025. So 2025 is a 9 and 1 plus 8 is a 9. So 9. Then I was guided to write sacred divine, spending time with the divine that lives within. You are sacredness living as skin. And so, our skin is also our biggest organ. This is how we absorb a lot from the outside world. It's also how we release a lot of toxins. So, with all of that being said, I would encourage you with the Cancer full moon coming up on the 13th of this month, so 5 days away, cleanse. And perhaps it's a perfect time for a parasite cleanse. And I've been guided that I'm going to be working again with the Pure Gum Spirits, and I'll probably start that perhaps on the 11th, a couple days before the full moon. And I'll probably continue that for 21 days. So then I was guided to go to the lake. I did that. I took the dogs to the dog park, and then I went down to the lake, laid on Mother Earth. It was beautiful. Who says you can't go to the lake when it's minus 20? Just dress appropriately, and yes, you can. And it was awesome. That's all I can say. So now to this, as I got my son out the door to work, I was guided to go and get this book and look up, not look it up, I know it, but to bring it here to share with you the information that Dan Millman brings through about a life path 9. And it feels important considering we're in a 9 year, because that's something else that was coming through today. I'm a Virgo, which is the hermit archetype. That's a 9. My life path is a 36-9. This year is a universal 9. So 9 is an energy I'm very comfortable living within, very comfortable, very familiar with the energy. It's almost like the comfort zone, right? Truly, it's almost like the comfort zone. And then the next thought that I had, as comfortable as I am living within that 9 archetype and energy as a life path, which, by the way, is the life path of wisdom and integrity. As comfortable as I am within that energy, there's quite a discomfort in that energy, right? It's like been a life of discomfort, and showing up for self in ways that creates ease and comfort in the experience. 2323, divine masculine energy. So the Mars and Venus thing, us women who are awake and aware and are doing the inner work, it's, time for us to really show up authentically as the powerful shifter or bringer of light that we are, the lighthouse, the tree of life, whatever you like to call yourself, medicine woman. So it feels important to share. Again, I'm sharing from Dan Millman's book, The Life You Were Born to Lead. And this is actually, is it signed? Yeah, it's my signed copy that I got from him back in the 90s at the Learning Annex in Toronto. He's such a nice man. He was small in stature, but massive in presence, and wrote a lot of great books. Does anybody know Dan Millman? Way of the Peaceful Warrior, Sacred Journey of the Peaceful Warrior, No Ordinary Moments, among others. Anyways, I'm just going to share a little bit about what the 9 life path is. So 9 is about integrity and wisdom. Imagine a lone sage walking down a dark road just before dawn, holding a lantern as a light for others to follow. Such sages lighting the way for others can only lead where they are willing to travel. If they fall off the path, so will those who follow. If you were such a sage, could you lead by your example? Could you inspire others with your integrity? And then it shares a quote, "My life is my teaching," Mahatma Gandhi. And, you know, that's a really beautiful, those 2 questions at the end are really powerful questions. And for those who were connecting with any of the videos, and if you haven't connected with any of them over the Holy Day season at the end of December there, do check them out, because a lot of information was coming in. And wolf was another bit of that clue, right? Like we take pride in the lone wolf energy. We're great at doing it on our own. Most of us, most of you who resonate with what's being shared here, we're great on our own. We can do it. Yet, humans, like wolves, are pack creatures, like we're not meant to do it alone. And so, are you willing to follow the path that's being shown? Are you willing to walk in your integrity? And integrity is about doing the right thing when no one's watching. It's like picking up your dog shit when nobody's watching, right? And in this neighborhood, it's, seems like most people don't care. But it's also about, and as a 9, as one who is walking a 9 life path, living a 9 life path, and as a Virgo to boot as well, we often have very high ideals, high standards. And, we hold ourselves to those high standards as well as others, we inspire others to achieve those standards. And yet, do we achieve them? Are we walking in integrity? Do our words match our actions? Do our actions match our words? How are our thoughts in comparison to our actions and our words? And so it feels like this is a really important time for us to enjoy the journey of introspection. I'm starting to sweat here again. Let me just pull up my flannel bottoms here. No, they're fleece. I guess they're fleece. So are we aligned with integrity? Are we uncovering the wisdom within? Are we allowing ourselves to continue to heal? Because I firmly believe, and it came through automatic writing many years ago, that wisdom is nothing more than pain healed. And, where's the pain? The pain really all stems back or flows back to the child that has lived within the entirety of this human experience. It was 2828 there, which was that 1010 energy. Wheel of Fortune. Things are turning in our favor. And so if you're here, if you're resonating with anything, keep going. Keep going. You're doing great. Yeah, so I feel like I've covered everything that came through that I was guided to touch on tonight. Remember this message from yesterday or the day before? The day before. I didn't go live yesterday. In the flow, when I am in the flow, magic happens. We're the magic that happens. And when we step out of the comfort zone, magic happens. Right? I feel like we're so, fearless self-love leads to union and connection with the other who is fearless in their practice of self-love, right? Connection with the other doesn't diminish the entirety of either within the experience. And did I write that down? Shoot. Did I write it in my other book? There was so much coming through about, did I write it in here? Yes, I did. Okay. So also, devil and lived came through. So we're here to live our best life. We're here to flip the script on its head. And when we recognize what's going on in the skies, or what's going on in the fog, or what's going on in the fires, or any of the other BS that goes on in the world, when we're willing, like when we recognize it and acknowledge it, that's the point in which we are called to enact our power. Act passionately, lead with passion, lead from the heart. Sacred leadership is about leading from the heart and acting with truth and integrity, and leading with the wisdom of the inner child that guides from within. Playful, experiencing, here for the experience of delight. I was also guided to write star. So this is what, and besides star, in lowercase letter, rats. So it's like the star that you and I are exposing the rats for what they are. And they're scurrying, right? And they're blowing shit up, and they're burning shit down, and they're spraying us like vermin and all of that. That means we're winning. That means we're winning. They're afraid of us. And this is what 2025 is about us becoming fearless in our pursuit of happiness. It was 3131 there. If anyone wants me to pull a card for them, let me know. And I think I will before I wrap it up. But be fearless in your pursuit of happiness. Be fearless in following the path of your heart. And others may not understand, and that's fine. That's fine. We're here to roam the land one day, hopefully hand in hand, to help one another understand, until we come home to our soul tribe, to those who get our vibe, to those who see the soul that lives inside. Yes, we are winning. We are. Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why these, this is why all this stuff is going on. No, it won't stop it. You're right. And they'll have little pockets of their stupid smart cities. What a paradox that is, right? Yeah. All right, perfect, Rena. I'll pull you a card. I think I'm going to get the sacred. So let me know, the Rumi Oracle or the sacred woman. And I feel like this card is important because it is stuck in that deck. And this is a Gaia card. Oh my gosh, how perfect. The sacred journey card, 22. We are, and there's 2 live viewers and 2 thumbs up. Yay, thank you. We are the sacred warrior, here to have the entirety of this experience. Sacred woman. Okay. Where is that? That's up here. So yeah, this is beautiful. Life cycles, family, and transformation. And this actually feels so perfect. And we're here. Look at those hearts. We're grounding our heart into the earth. We're healing through our roots. We're healing that stuff from way back there. And, we just can't get over it, right? Like we gotta not, people gotta stop thinking we can just get over stuff. We've actually got to address things, and we've got to get over our fear. And we have to begin to share from a really beautiful space, which is our hearts. Hi, Jen. Hi, yay. That's so awesome. So Jen, let me know if you want a card. Anyone here, let me know if you want a card. I haven't got to them yet. And let me know if you want a sacred woman oracle, which is really for an affirmation. So male or female, it would work, or a Rumi oracle. and I'll bring you a little intuitive message. So yeah, 22, it's like the building blocks, right? Standing on our own 2 feet, and we're good at that. And yet it's also feeling like it's the union, it's the 1111 energy coming together. Many different paths lead us to the same healing star, which is our heart. And so what was written today is, as much pain that is shared via the sacral connection, so through sexual relations with the other, male, female, whatever, anything through the root and sacral chakra, as much pain that is shared via the sacral connection is equal to the powerful healing that comes via the sacral connection in sacred union. And it feels in many ways that 2025 is a year of reunion, of soul recognition, that mirror energy, the wolf and the flow. And, it is through the root and the sacral chakra that much of humanity has been wounded. No, I haven't. Much of humanity has been wounded. And this is where we've gotten to at this time. It's brought us to this point where, instead of seeing partnership and sacral connections and intimate connections, physical connections with the other as sacred, so much of it is it's really tarnished and it's not viewed as such. And so what those connections end up doing is perpetuating the wounding. And so many of us have been here for a great long time healing that wounding. And so it feels like if you have been doing that work to heal the wound within your experience, that and that union is what you desire to experience in this lifetime, it is coming to you in this lifetime. And rather quickly it feels. So, and oh shoot, am I still live? I think so. And in the end, all this is saying is that, as varied as the hearts, as many hearts beating as there are in the world, that's as many ways there are to the process of a spiritual awakening. Like there are no rules. Anyone that tells you there's rules, you should do this or that or the other is not that's not an integrity, right? I would never tell you what to do. And I can only share with you what I have healed within my experience, and not even all the time what I've healed, sometimes what I'm going through. And those of you who traveled with me through 2024 know that it was a heck of a decade. Oh my gosh. And I'm not the same woman sitting here in front of you today as I was in March of 2024 or January of 2024, or even December of 2024. So much has changed. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. So all right. So we're starting with Rena. Here comes your card, sister. Maybe I'll just pull a Rumi card for us at the end to flow out of this message. So let me put that one back in. This was from the Sacred Woman Oracle the other day. So I'm feeling guided to share this. My clear boundaries allow me to protect myself, nurture my intentions, and follow my true self. And 6 is, our path of purpose in this lifetime. So, okay, Rena, a card for Rena. So this will be an affirmation, a message from your higher self, Rena, that you can work with in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you saw that. I shuffled, but I'm hearing to take the bottom card as well. So here's the bottom card. Okay. So we got the boundaries card again. So it feels like, Rena, it's really important for you to make sure that your boundaries are like in place. And the boundaries are stabilized through the soles of our feet, through our roots, our connection to the earth, and then radiate out from our heart space. And imagining this 6 foot, you can go even bigger than that if you want, 9 to 12 foot. Practice how far out you can create this energetic space around you that is your bubble of protection and light. Nothing is going to, nothing that is not of the highest vibe, nothing that is out to cause you harm is welcome in that space. And it's like, I'm almost feeling like, um, if you've ever been to the fun house and they've got those mirrors in there and the mirrors are all distorted and they make you look taller, shorter, this kind of stuff. I'm feeling like it's almost like, or a disco ball, being in the middle of a translucent disco ball that's got all this like frosted, I don't know what I'm feeling. It's like frosted glass, I guess, around you. Not glass, mirrors. That's what they want me to say. Mirrors. That's what I was saying about the funhouse. So, like holding the mirror up for others so that they can see how beautiful they are from your heart. Like the mirror of your heart is what creates the boundary. And then the next card, I didn't even really look at that, but that's like perfect. The dove of peace in the heart. And it supports the opening of the throat chakra. And perhaps this is why we're all going through this respiratory stuff that's moving through us now. And it feels like in some ways clearing decades worth of gunk, like junk, mucus, and that kind of stuff. It sounds weird, gross, really, but it's what's happening. And the purity of your heart. And this is about gratitude. This appreciation card is really about gratitude. And it's a 25, which it comes to a 7, your physical body. How is your physical body feeling? And, creating your boundaries from your roots up. So it almost feels like from the roots up in the chakras through the crown. And when you've got that clear, then starting to bring the support down and then sending it into the earth, and then once again bringing it up from the earth and out through your heart. This is the appreciation for all of it. And we're the ones here to flip the script. I am a virtual, yeah, right? Look, at the job, they didn't have any Kleenex for days and days. So I've been carrying my own with me and bringing them home because otherwise they're a hot commodity around there. And there hasn't been any for quite some time. I hope they're there when I get back tomorrow. So, Rena, your message is to make sure your boundaries are in place. And here's your affirmation for that. My clear boundaries allow me to protect myself, nurture my intentions, and follow my true self. And expressing gratitude. And, your heart is so beautiful, Rena. You were one of my biggest encouragers through 2024. And I'm so grateful to have made the connection with you and, definitely a sister of the heart. And I hope to one day meet you in the flesh and give you a great big hug because I am a hugger. I like hugs. And, until that time, I hope that you can feel the embrace of love that I send from my heart to yours every time we connect. And this says, appreciating the good that exists in my here and now expands my awareness to all that is good in the universe. Yeah. And we humans, it takes us a while to figure out, it doesn't matter what we focus on, we're going to get more of that. So good, bad, or otherwise, energy doesn't really differentiate. It just multiplies, right? And energy never dies. So in order to, this is so funny because this was underneath my book, the self-belief card. This came out the other day. Look at the two cards that, oh my gosh. These two cards I kept from the other day, 6, 6. And then I also kept these two, 5 + 1 is 6. The Hierophant, Teach, and Love Abounds. So I think Love Abounds is like the Ace of Cups. Again, I'm not a tarot reader. I just intuit everything. But this is really beautiful. We are here to succeed. And this is the year that many of us are going to achieve those those dreams that we seeded a long time ago. We are the seeds of sacred dreams that we're here for. I love your energy too. Thank you for seeing me. I'm always appreciative when someone sees me or feels me, not so much sees me, because looks can be deceiving, right? So who knows how people perceive us, our physical looks and all that kind of stuff. That's not cool. Don't make me laugh at corny jokes or snot jokes, Jen. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's hilarious. All right, so Rena, thank you so much. Thanks for letting me connect with you. And I'm looking forward to what 2025 is going to bring through for all of us. Okay. No, I'm glad you see my soul. I see yours too. And if we could only see, many great poets have said, if we could see each other's soul, we would be a lot more gentle with each other, right? And we'd be a lot more compassionate. Okay, so next up, who was next? Okay, Dawn, you're up. Miss Mo, here we go. Here to grow and nurture our soul. Okay. So I'm leaving this card out because I feel like this is for all of us. We're being called to have faith in ourselves, have faith in our dreams, allow our uniqueness to shine through, and have faith that we are going to succeed, or achieve and succeed and exceed. Maybe that's what they want me to say. Exceed our dreams better than we could have imagined. And anything we can imagine is possible. It's up to us to hold the vision. And they're taking me back to whatever we're thinking, whatever we're focused on is what multiplies in our life. So, Michelle, oh my God. Oh my gosh. I miss Michelle Magot. She is quite magical. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to reach out to her actually. She's a fellow Canadian. She lives about 5-6 hours north of me in Ontario. Yeah, and Michelle always used to connect with me. She would always bring me messages. Like I would pop into her mind or heart and a song would come through. So for a long time, we were sharing songs back and forth. So thank you for reminding me or bringing Michelle up. Not that I'd forgotten her, but I do feel like there's a message there. So thank you for that. And check this out. So Mo, love-based reality, number 1, which takes us back to this love abounds, number 1, right? This is what you are here to create. And look at the beautiful, I almost feel like the heart space is almost the void, right? And it feels like, and it's within the void that life is created, right? It's within the dark, the damp, the wet, that life is created. And, many of us have been so afraid of the dark, right? Or not, like at one point in time, we were all afraid of the dark. And so many people live their life afraid of the dark without the awareness that it's within the dark that the greatest gift is found, right? Our gifts, our talents, our abilities. And so it's about taking that deep dive into the experience. And so for you, Dawn, I do feel like there is, this is like a new beginning for you, whatever you want. And, even if you're not sure of what you want, take this time, take the pressure off yourself, is what I just heard, and take this time to relax, unwind, and rewind. In order to, again, like the slingshot needs to be pulled back, or the bow needs to be pulled back for the arrow to take off. A line of a song's coming to me. Just 1 second. Blowing high, blow it high dough, the tragically hip. The smaller it gets, the faster. The smaller it gets, the further it's gonna go when you're blowing high dough. Sorry, my voice is not much for singing tonight. I know everyone here loves my singing. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling from this card. And then you got another card. Oh, I'm talking about the void, and here's the unknown. This is it. Allow yourself to lead with love into the unknown, the great wide open, and it's blown wide open. That's 2 different songs there. Anyways, blown wide open is important, and something about the things, I think that's a line from the song, the things I didn't say. So what's being blown wide open? Perhaps your whole entire perception of what you're here to do. Perhaps your whole entire mission has changed. And now it's like you're doing an about face and you're being guided in the direction. I almost feel like you maybe are being guided to take a bit of a turn and go this way. Set your sights. I just heard set your sights higher. But follow the compass of your heart's desire. And here, if we add these all up, we've got 6 again. 1 + 4 + 1 is 6. So having faith in yourself, believing in yourself, allowing your uniqueness to shine through. Remember, it's about the soul. It's about the soul. It's not so much about the human. Humans have made it all about themselves. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're all so important. We're so important. We can't even look up from our phones half the time. I mean, honestly, it's redonkulous. This world is redonkulous. And so as one who sees it as that, I feel like part of my role is here to flip the script and call out the redonkulous in a redonkulous way so that perhaps the humor helps light the way for others to see through the eyes of the heart and to really understand what it is that we're each here for. And so it says, I am soul nurtured when I surround myself with friends and family who support a love-based reality. And that takes me back to the wolf energy, calling the pack in, finding the pack, wandering the land until we find our pack. This is the year that we come back to the pack. And we don't need to be the leader of the pack, right? We are one within the pack. The unknown. I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos. My next steps are revealed. I don't know any other way. No way. Dawn, are you serious? Oh my gosh. You are going to be A-okay. Dawn, thank you for the confirmation because, sometimes as an intuitive, again, sometimes the mind wants to get in there and I want to hold myself back, but the reality is I shouldn't. Wow, Dawn, I'm sorry. And yet I trust and know that you're going to be A-okay. You were just told you were going to be okay. And like, I literally felt as if your team of light was just taking you gently by the shoulders, just placing their hands behind your shoulders and moving you slightly to the right is what I heard. Slightly to the right. You'll know what that means. You are so very welcome, sister. You are so very welcome. So just trust where you are. Trust where you are and know that you are being led. And I'm hearing nothing has to be forced. There's no need to, nothing needs to be forced. Simply flow. the force of the entire loving universe has your back. And what has moved out of your life is to create space for what is meant to be. Yes, what is meant to be for you. So you are so welcome, Dawn. And I'm really sorry because I know how unsettling that must feel for you. I don't think anything like that came up in your January messages, but I love you. Okay, so Jen, you're next. Miss Parr, sister of the heart. What have we got? Oh, I will tell her you said hi, Rena. I will, absolutely. I don't even know if she's on Facebook anymore. That's the interesting thing. And I'm not sure if I have her number in my phone. But I will check. And it's funny, Dawn, the unsettling, because that's what was coming through today when I tuned in and was guided to connect to the 9-9 energy of today. That's what came through. It's like I'm very familiar in the 9 energy as a life path 9. That is my familiar. The archetype of the hermit, my familiar. That lone wolf energy, my familiar, and very adept at navigating those energies. And yet what the realization was is that it's about being that most of the energy that we have lived through our entire life has been rather unsettling. And if it hasn't, for some, I mean, I guess some have idyllic lives and childhoods and all of that, this universal 9 is unsettling. The way the year has started, the way the year ended, it has been unsettling. So yeah, change is challenging, and yet it is the one constant in this life, isn't it? What is that saying? Growth is optional. Growth is optional. Change is mandatory. Choose wisely, or something like that. So Jen, here's one card. It fell to the ground. And I feel like this is for all of us too. It's about the inner sanctuary. This is the 8. And on the tail end, at the beginning of this universal 9 year, which follows obviously the universal 8, it is really, we are being called into the inner landscape. It is a time of introspection, and certainly at least until the Mars moves direct in February, but certainly around until the time of the spring, it feels like. It says, in my inner sanctuary, I connect to peace, inner quietude, and comfort. And we're here to be the peace. I'm putting that card back in, and I'm, because I wasn't really like totally tuned in. Yeah, strong like trees. We are not gonna buckle in the breeze, and the winds of change are whipping through our lives, like whistling through. And yet, if we get quiet and listen to the breath of God, the miracle of life that moves through us, each of us, this is through our breath, we are connected. Through our roots, we are connected. Through our hearts, we are connected. And so, all we are called to do is show up and be who we are, who we came to be. Yes. Enlightenment power. So Jen, and just as was being said, it's our inner Zen, right? If I don't show up for myself, who the heck's going to, right? If we don't show up for ourselves, who's going to? If I don't follow the inner guidance I'm getting, who's going to? Who's going to come here and do what I'm being called to do? Nobody. Because I can't do what you're doing. Yep, Zen Jen, I love it. And you can't do what I'm doing. That's not what we're here for. We are here for our unique and personal experience of reestablishing our sacred connection to Source, taking that healing journey through our inner shadow so that the wisdom of the child within, the wisdom of the sage within, can flow forth into the world as the healing balm of love that we each came to be. And so, this is the 20, which is the judgment card. And so I'm being guided to the bottom card for you as well, Jen. Oh, that's so perfect. It goes back to that energy of like the path of wisdom and integrity, the 9, right? The familiar, the life path I'm on. Is anybody else? Do you know your life path? And if not, and you want to know about your life path, let me know. And all you need to do is add up all the numbers of your birthday, and you come with a double-digit number, and then you add those 2 double digits. So you add my birthday up, it comes to 36. You put a plus sign between the 3 and 6, and it comes to a 9. So my life path is a 9. And then here it is, the 36. The 9 energy. As Jen, as any of us, show up for ourselves, right? As the high priestess, as the medicine woman, standing on our own 2 feet, grounded and deeply rooted into to Mother Earth, so that we can bring the essence of our soul through, and do the soul work that we came here to do, and make the soul connections that we came here to make. And it says here, and so the judgment, 9, a big part of the 9 life path, the wisdom and integrity, I can tell you, we hold ourselves to high standards. And we oftentimes, I know for myself personally, I've felt so guilty about so many of the choices I've made in life, particularly those that had a detrimental impact on others, like a negative effect on others, in particular my child. And it's taken a lot of years, and 2024 was the year that finally I was able to release that guilt and forgive myself, and no longer sit in judgment of the girl, young woman, who made certain choices along the way. I am not that woman today. And so I do feel there is some energy here, Jen, perhaps about forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and knowing that everything unfolded exactly as it needed to be for your spiritual awakening, for your ability to bring your medicine into the world, because our healing is our medicine, right? Our healed hearts, our softness is our medicine. And I feel like that's one of the most beautiful gifts about the journey of 2024 for me. And in fact, the last decade of my life, in particular, the last 6 years, there's been a softening. And, some days I don't even recognize myself. And yet I do, because I've always been this. Not much has changed. So here it says, I am a woman choosing the power of my own consciousness as a vehicle for my growth. Yes. And that's the beauty of the spiritual path, right? Like we don't have to follow any guru or anything like that. We just simply sit and breathe and follow our breath, and allow the child that lives inside of us to guide us. Perhaps at the beginning, we allow the pain that we feel in our physical body, the physical pain that we feel, to guide us to the emotional pain. Yeah. Awesome, Jen. You are 100%. And it's the divine feminine that is calling into her experience all that her soul that our eternal soul desires to connect. You know, many years ago, many years ago, I received a channeled message, like through automatic writing, my conversations with God, that this was my last incarnation. And I'm like, how can this possibly be my last incarnation? Like, that means enlightenment, you know? And yet it feels like it. And enlightenment doesn't, it doesn't look, what are they? It doesn't, this is what it looks like, you know, authentic and real. Rena, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your dinner, burritos and rice. So yes, calling into us. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. Yes, and we are powerful, and we're not meant to be men. Yes, we understand that there is a masculine side of us and a feminine side of us. And yet we are women, or we're men, depending what you are. I'm a woman. Many of those of us here are women. So it's like really embracing what we are and trusting our heart. And Jen, it feels to me that you are exactly where you are meant to be. It's funny, I was guided to take a picture of myself today. I was laying on it was -20. I was bundled up like Nanook of the North. Didn't feel any cold at all. I could have probably stayed out there much longer than I did. But I literally had my face up to here, and I was guided to do a selfie, and all you really see are my eyes. And I was a bit like taken aback at how blue my eyes looked. And then I received the message about, you know, eyes being the window of the soul. And I also received a message is that, or are our eyes the mirror of the cosmos? So perhaps there's a question there for you, Jen. And let's read this again. So if anyone else is here and wants a card, this will be it. After Jen, I'm done. So I will pull a Rumi card for us to close this out. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. And that's a big message I've been receiving, is like, there's no need. We're not here to chase anything. We're not here to chase our dreams. We've already seeded our dreams, and we're here to nurture those by nurturing the human that we are, and to get more confident and comfortable living from our heart. Because the outside world, I mean, I love this visual on this card. Unique, you know, just doing her thing. She's got her own vibe going on, and that's cool. That's the coolest thing than everyone who's trying to do the same vibe, right? Just bring your own energy to the table, because if you don't, you're going to come across inauthentic, right? We're here to be authentic, to act in integrity, and to allow our wisdom to flow through us freely, right? Without holding back. So keep going, Jen. You're on the right path. All right. So let's just get this closed out. I'm starting to sweat again. In these apartments, you can't adjust your heat. So got the window cracked, but I guess I didn't crack it enough. All right. So for all of us, just to wrap this up, my voice lasted longer than I thought it would. A minute. Yeah. An hour and 8 minutes. You are so welcome, Jen. You are so welcome. Thank you for your love and support throughout the year 2024. You know, you are another one like Rena and Dawn, who have been like great cheerleaders for me and encouraged me to keep going on, like to keep showing up, you know, when perhaps sometimes my heart wasn't into it. But then again, you knew it because, you know, I'm pretty transparent. So here we go. Victory of the Miriam, 41. Like, this really feels like the rising of the feminine. And remember, this feels like red coral. So for some of us, red coral may be useful. And on most native jewelry, it's black on like wood, black wood, red coral, and turquoise together. And this is the divine masculine and feminine. And, this is, yeah, it's my Sunday night tonight. So it's 10/16 Sunday night. I'm back to the JOB tomorrow. It's all right. So 5, it's about change, but this really feels like the rising of the divine feminine, and as she rises, the masculine comes in, and she is supported. We are supported, always supported. And it's about leading with passion and inspired action, allowing our passion to inspire the action. Okay, let me just take another drink. I'm going to, maybe it's this light. It's like a lamp sitting beside me, and maybe it's throwing off some heat. That's maybe. Yeah, what I'm feeling here, it's like, sending her healing out into the world. This is, we are victorious. So whatever's happened to this point, we are victorious. Victory is ours. Trust your heart. Don't give up. Why would you? Dreams are coming true. So let's see if I have enough light here to read. I'm not going to read the whole. Okay. So it's from this deck. And just the beginning, I'm just going to read the poem. So it's a poem by Rumi. And it says, if you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket and hide? 111 there. You are in a quarry of. All right, you know what? I got to turn on the light because I don't want to be like trying to read this. Okay, so it says, if you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? You are in a quarry of sweets. Why do you look so sour? You live in a spring of life. Why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your glory. That's the shadow, right? Within the shadow is our greatest gift. It's true. Don't be afraid of the shadow. Do not be afraid of the shadow. A long shadow reveals deep roots, right? Ancient roots that we are here to bring. And if you know plant medicine, it's within the root that the most potent medicine is found. So there's something there for us. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames. Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Yes, and this full moon coming up is perfect to begin the clearing out of the carcass, right? Hey. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? Why be a lame ass when you have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive. To open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all of your locks. How friggin' beautiful is that? And what a way to end this live stream, because it literally just wrapped it all up so beautifully. So beautifully. Don't pretend you're anything other than the powerful, mystical, medicinal being of light that you are. Let the soul shine out through your eyes. Create. Right? It did. I can't believe it. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I'm so grateful for the team that guides me. I'm so grateful that I
come from lions, and I have that inner strength that allows me to continue to show up for myself in the most authentic way and show up for others in that same way with the faith, that faith like a mustard seed that's growing in my life. I believe in the dreams that little Lisa had. I still hold those dreams close to my heart today, and I know that this is the year those dreams that were seeded long ago come true. So, oh my gosh, victory to us. Yay, we did it. All right, everyone. Everyone here, if you want to be, Titha was the winner of our last free reading giveaway. I dropped the paper when I tried to grab it. It fell on the floor. So if you'd like to be a part of the free reading giveaway, I do one every month. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. Much of the content here on this channel is timeless and eternal. So I trust that whenever you come across any message, it will resonate with you and support you in that moment. So to get in on the draw, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. It supports the ability of this channel to grow and bust through the algorithms and all the AI nonsense that's going on in the world. Let's just be natural and authentic and show, you know, those ones that are doing all this nefarious bullshit, just how powerful we are. And it begins with each and every one of us in our hearts. Subscribe, comment on any of the content, and your name goes here in this handy dandy basket. I'm not sure when the next draw will be, sometime in January. And if you'd like to book a personal reading or intuitive healing session with me, or if you'd just like to reach out and chat, I am here for you. So until next time, everyone, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for showing up. Your presence really fills up my cup and supports my ability to overflow out into the world as I know I am meant to do. So until next time, thank you, thank you, thank you. I trust that something here has supported your beautiful soul to shine. Jen, Dawn, Rena, Ishika, thank you all so much for being here, and anyone else who's being here whenever you're seeing this on the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I absolutely adore you. Until next time, take good care.